Good morning. Just a little chat today about when we're awakening and all the things that are available for us all within and without. And that is when we go through our heart, when we go out in nature, in divine timing, and when it is meant to come, we get all the answers that we need in that now moment for ourselves, for our own journey, and can assist others if we need to. In amongst the awakening that we're all going through, and all of humanity will be awakening soon, there are so many beautiful spiritual modalities available to assist you through your awakening. There is also people out there that forget that in this realm, that all the things that we do in life, whether we need to go to get some groceries, you need to get your car fixed, you need to get your hair cut, or whatever it may be, that there are people doing these jobs. And so that the world can keep running, so that we can all get stuff done. Now, with everyone awakening and joining spiritual communities and offering beautiful healing and modalities and all kinds of beautiful yummies out there, that just a reminder that these are something that we're all gifted, that we all have the ability to do, that we can all tap in, we can all heal ourselves. We are our own savior, our own healer, our own teacher, our own friends. And as it may be okay to pay for spiritual services or charge for spiritual services, just be humble in the way that you receive and give. If everyone on the planet is going to be awakening, who's going to run everything else in the matrix field? If we're all charging each other, awakened people are charging each other for spiritual services and healing modalities, what kind of spiritual people are going to service at the supermarket? What kind of spiritual people are going to fix your car? All of these people, all of us who are awakening, and which at first, you pull out of the matrix field, you pull out of the jobs that you were doing, but something that you're good at, and that we need love in every sector. So being a checkout chick or anything like that isn't by means non-spiritual or non-awakened being. We need love in every sector. So when people are awakening and you get through your process, let's go back into the field, into the matrix field, and let's have beautiful spiritual awakened people in every sector. Instead of everybody charging $111, $222, $888 for spiritual services and healing services, because that's something that you can do yourself through processes of, there's many books out there that have been written over the hundreds and thousands of years. A lot of spiritual information isn't just new. These are repeated things because they're the things that are necessary to wake your own self up. So no matter how much amount of money you pay to have an activation or something like that, if it doesn't resonate, it's going to bounce back straight back, and you'll be paying again and again and again and wondering, well, where are you going to get the money from if you're not working, so to speak. So we need Earth to still run. So when we pull out of the matrix field, when you're healing and activating and awakening yourself through your own gifts, through your own nature, then let's get back in there, put love in every sector, so that we can have beautiful awakened beings in everywhere that we go in life. That it's not just to have a spiritual or meaningful conversation or a meaningful transaction, that it leaves her with a beautiful awakened heart. You know, I'd love to go into the matrix and get what I need to get, my groceries and vitamins and things like that. But it's a lot nicer experience when you're being served by awakened souls. You know, one, if you're working in those sectors, you still have money to go and buy all your fun spiritual things. Like you have the money to do that, go and buy your crystals or whatever it may be. Or, you know, if you're into crafts and arts, at least you're an awakened being that can hold a job in the matrix field. The more people that are awakened, that are working normal jobs, like that's a part of the human experience, you know, is the physicality of it all. That love in every sector, then the whole matrix field will be run by awakened people. You won't have all these Karens or whatever serving you at the doctors or serving you at the checkouts, or some Karen cutting your hair or whatever. You know, let's be aware that we're all in this together. And my teacher, who's now in her 90s, bless her, she never used to charge. And if she did, it would be a gold coin donation, or sometimes it would just be barter, like maybe a crystal or something like that. Most of the times, you'd spend a couple of hours for free with her. We would do meditation classes. They were all by gold coin donation, and you brought a tray of food along so that we could all awaken and take out our teachings back into the matrix field, which is what we're trying to deconstruct. We're trying to shift it. So how can we shift it if we all pull away from it? And then what? So once you awaken, whatever you like, if you're a seamstress, you know, there's plenty of jobs in the sewing industry and sewing places that you can go in and be an awakened being and do your job with love. You know, we're sending it through the fields everywhere. But if we're all going spiritual into the awaken and we're all charging each other hundreds of dollars, one, where are you going to get the money from to go and pay for all these other services? And really, deep down in your heart, I know I've done many healing modalities, and I only used to charge $35 for an hour and a half for a treatment. Because love is the way. I got by. I have never starved. I've always had a roof over my head or somewhere to stay. Because I trust in love. I trust that love in every sector is how we're going to shift the planet. Through us. So just remember these things that are all so fun and everything like that. But one, you be a bit more humble and honor yourself, whether you're going to purchase spiritual items or whether you're charging for them. There are other means to make a living. And that's fine to make a living. Everyone needs food on the table and a place to stay. But when we're getting greedy in that spiritual section and charging hundreds of dollars for stuff, have a bit of humility in your offerings. Have a bit of awareness and compassion that all of those that aren't back in the love zone yet, they will get back there eventually. You know, all of these dark oligarchs and everything, they'll get back there. by yelling at them and saying bad things about them, and that's keeping them further away, and it's pulling you away from the love bubble as well. Be humble and grateful for where we're at. And trust that all the others will come along eventually. We were once there at some stage. And remember what it was like when all we needed was a friend or someone to talk to about the spiritual stuff. And we turn to people and we get charged a hell heap of money. When you really just needed a little bit of guidance and a little bit of a friend in the spiritual realm while you're waking up. And then you get disheartened when you're charged over and over and over again for information that we already may have inside us and that have been written in books and everything for hundreds of years. Just be humble and remember, we are the ones to shift this, and not by being greedy, not by being judgmental, not by attacking others that are still trying to find their way back into the love bubble. Just do you. Work on you. Share love with others, whatever sector you may be in. You may be a hairdresser. You may be a mechanic. You may work at a grocer's. You may do lawn care, Lawn care is, and working with nature, we really need awakened spiritual beings. There's lots of elementals out there in nature that get harmed all the time by non-awakened beings in the sector of nature care and lawn care, all that sort of stuff. Be a little bit more aware in what you do with your work. Love in every sector. Anyways, I've had a bit of a ramble, and so just be love, be you, and take your awakened love into all the fields, all the sectors in the matrix. That's how we take it back over. Yeah? Anyway, much love to everybody. Keep it real. Keep it humble. Love in every sector.